Yo, Smooth family, what's up? How y'all doing? It's been a minute. Gonna wait a little bit. Y'all come in here. How y'all doing though? Hope y'all doing good, feeling good. If not, hopefully, just make your day better. Hopefully just make your day better. But how you doing?
I'm good. You know, run around with your grandma.
I feel you on that. Should be on the move.
I'm
Feeling
good.
good. Feeling good. Glad to see y'all. You know, today gonna be an interesting episode. And after mine, gotta go to his. It's gonna be a very interesting topic. But what's good, Smooth family? It's your boy Be Smooth. You can't be smooth, then you gotta move. And this smooth talk. Today we're gonna be talking about being overwhelmed. Being overwhelmed, it happens to us all. It happens. It's a natural thing that happens, and we try to figure out what can we do to get over that. You know, hey, what's up, Kitty? Everybody just popping in the chat. Say what's up. If you have some insights or questions, or when I ask these questions and things of that nature, feel free to answer them, things of that nature.
Matter of fact, before you start, why y'all coming in, let us know what the sound, how it sound, because yesterday, I was at the Holler Center yesterday and everything. I had took everything with me yesterday, so I was trying to make sure everything is working right. So y'all just let us know
Before we
how the sound, the quality of it is.
before we
If you missed it yesterday, go back and check it out. Um, from yesterday that we had Dr. Bruce Bridges talking about the culture and stuff like that. And we're trying to get something set up. We're gonna go down to the Holler Center again. It's gonna got warm now because everybody want to meet Brandon and everything. And we got some guests lined up. One of the founders of the Holler Center and a correction officer that used to work at Rikers Island. He's there. He's gonna be there. He got a bus set up, just like what you see in the prison. Got a bus set. I was in there yesterday. I'm like, wow. Ain't no in the world I'm gonna go to prison. Not for no dumb stuff.
He said it sounds cool. I can hear it. Don, what's up? For those that's just not coming in, like I said, welcome to the Be Smooth podcast, Smooth Talk podcast. But my co-host, my dad. So today we're gonna be talking about being overwhelmed. We're gonna be talking about being overwhelmed. So what does that mean to you? Being overwhelmed. You know, y'all can give y'all thoughts on that. And obviously we're gonna give our thoughts on it, but what does that mean to you? Being overwhelmed.
It can be various things because you can be impacted by a lot of stuff that's dealing with life. You can be impacted on things that's on you. Your job can overwhelm you. People can overwhelm you. Family can overwhelm you. Yeah, it's a lot that can come with it. Just depend on the person.
Mm-hmm.
Depend on the person.
I agree. For me, same thing you just pretty much said, but also it's just like you losing control over yourself. You trying to do so many things at one time and not tackling them, you know, one thing at a time, or just trying to do one thing at a time. You're just trying to attack everything at one whole time over there, whatever, and you just gassing yourself out, stressing yourself out. You know, for some people, they end up getting so overwhelmed they get depressed, anxiety, or the term that this generation use, crash out, or whatever. So yeah, it could be many things that can lead to being overwhelmed.
Let's say financial issues.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on in school with her?
Nice to meet you. But yeah, financial issues is one of them too.
I think we all done did that part before.
Yeah, being overwhelmed because you're worried about, bills and then all this other stuff you gotta take care of. So it can be overwhelming. So a question, another question that I have, it was good.
What's up,
Good,
man?
EJ. So another question I have is, what's feeling the heaviest right now? we getting deep on this one.
Man, just trying to get through this life, man.
Yeah.
Trying to get through this life and trying to be mindful of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely my job.
Yeah. Feel you on that. Really fun.
Yeah, if y'all have those type of jobs,
boy.
Yeah, those jobs right there can be something for real.
As far as like for me, what's feeling the heaviest, I would say is, like you said, trying to get through life just in general. And then for me, from a suicide standpoint, just trying to do my best to stay out of the hospital, but not overdo it as well. And, I don't know. Sometimes I get to like that headspace where I be trying to do everything at one time or get it done by a specific time or whatever. And it's like I be having to pace myself and be like, you know what, you're not gonna be able to do that and in one go. So I have to space it out. So I have to remind myself about that.
I don't say working for 7 counselors. Yes. Getting out the military and starting over from scratch.
Hey, it be like that, bro. Sometimes you gotta start over. Sometimes you gotta start over. And since you brought it up, EJ, a lot of people are afraid of that. To start over. They feel like start all over from the bottom or whatever, that situation may be, whatever your definition of starting over. It's like there's nothing wrong with it. It could be a fresh start, A lot of people need it, honestly. But a point I want to bring up is, take a mental break from everything, have an emotional / mental health check-in with yourself. You have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. Whether you do that by yourself or you do it with your friends, your family, whoever, with me and my friends or me and my family, we tend to do that a lot. You got to have those, mental break, emotional / mental health check-ins. You got to do them because it's very necessary. Whether you asking, just asking somebody like, hey, you all right? You good? You want to talk about anything, things of that nature, like that goes a long way with somebody because you never know what somebody's going through. You truly never know for real. So it's good to ask them. But what you think about that?
It's always good to ask somebody questions and see, can you help out in any type of way? Sometimes we're overwhelmed with stuff. We snap at people.
Mm-hmm.
You be forgetful and forgetfulness and procrastination and guilt. Even sometimes you be feeling shame, and it's not a weakness. It's a signal. It's a warning light for you. It's a signal. It's a warning light for you. Right? Just like it could be a warning light for me or anybody else. But you got to learn how to let stuff go and don't because sometimes we overwhelm our own selves with a whole bunch of stuff that we haven't been overwhelming ourselves with. You worry about somebody else's problem when you got a whole bunch of problems yourself. That's where you got to be like, wait a minute, let me take care of me first.
Yeah. He said, I be forgetting to do this sometimes. Yeah. You gotta do one thing at a time, bro. You have to. You gotta check on people. Derek said, hello. Y'all favorite Spider-Man here.
Lord have mercy.
Y'all didn't know that Spider-Man, Batman, no, we stop. Yeah, you have to do that though. Like you said, we do overwhelm ourselves, and sometimes we get in our own way, and we put ourselves in situations that we shouldn't be in, or that can be avoided. And I get there's some situations where, it can't be avoided, and you have to face it and take it head on.
Get this camera for a minute.
Oh yeah, keep talking. Yeah, you have to do that though. You got to take time for yourself. You have to do it Whether that's writing down how you feel, going to the gym, doing stuff that makes you happy, whether that's singing, drawing, dancing, cooking, whatever it is that you love doing, take that mental break for yourself if you need it. You have to do it.
Yeah, vacations are good.
Mm-hmm.
Time away is good. Staying off social media is great. Watching a whole bunch of this mess that's on TV, get off that subject sometime. A whole bunch of Tubi ain't no good neither. You got to find a escape, some type of escape plan or escape route, or just to escape to a better place mentally before you get broke down.
Yeah, that ties into another point I was going to bring, which is like do things that make you happy and take your mind off being overwhelmed. Like you said, social media can put you there. Watching too much TV can do that, 'cause especially if there's a bunch of negative stuff. You can be overwhelmed with that. Yeah. Netflix, Tubi, all that. We ain't saying it's bad to watch it, but like doing it too much, yeah, that can overwhelm you too. Because then you start to realize, like, man, I ain't doing nothing. I'm just sitting here, just letting the days go by watching social media or TV all day. Like I said, you can take a break, but there'll be some people that take a break and they stay in that break for way too long. Yeah, that's the thing too. You gotta be mindful of that. So here's another question I have. Do you think people should brainstorm solutions, or do they just need to vent, or both?
Both. Sometimes it's good to write stuff down and see what the problem is. And it's good to have somebody that you can vent to.
Mm.
A lot of people write.
Mm.
A lot of things that I do, I listen to certain music. I listen to soothing stuff and that relaxes me and keeps me cool and relaxed and down and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be writing stuff down, and if I don't do that, dance or play the game, watch anything, whatever. I'll do whatever I can to take my mind off of it. And, I brainstorm solutions. What she's saying. I'm watching the tube. I'm with the tube.
It's free right now. I do it.
Right. But yeah, it's good to brainstorm solutions and come up with a solution. Hold on. They said getting comfortable is like a drug. Yeah. You get too comfortable. You feel relaxed, and then it's like you don't want to do nothing. And that's a scary feeling, boy. Because sometimes it'd be hard for people to get out of that sometimes. I know a lot of people are like, man, I can easily get out of that. All right. When it happens, sometimes we happen unintentionally, you don't even realize it. You gotta be careful with that.
Yes, you do.
But it is good to have people that you can vent to. Me personally, I do both. I try to come up with a solution, or I just vent to somebody. We both can come up with a solution. If I'm talking to one of my brothers or my dad or whoever, and we both going through something, we talk about it, and then we both come up with a solution for it. I give you ideas of what you can do, and vice versa. That's how you grow together. That's how you overcome what's going on with you. She said that's true. To have someone to vent to. Yeah, you need those type of people. Darius said I found a new hobby. Well, not new, but I've done it more lately. I take photos of nature, things nobody really sees with the naked eye. That's dope. That's dope, bro. You have to send me some of them so I can see. Yeah, you see, that's a perfect example right there, though. Perfect example. Find new hobbies or try new things. You never know. But you might have a hidden talent in.
Yeah, you never know.
Mm-hmm. What's some things you do to help being overwhelmed that you personally do?
Things that I do?
Mm-hmm.
To what?
Get over being like overwhelmed.
I go vent. I go vent. I got a few brothers I go vent to, or just talk to, or we just talk. That's good enough for me. And like we messing around, just playing or messing around with videos or we showing each other something funny. You see, I vent that way. I do different things to vent and get away from this crazy old world
Yeah.
because it is crazy out here now.
Yeah.
But that's what I do. I got things I do. I watch TV. And me personally, I like riding motorcycles, and I watch motorcycles, and I watch drag racing. Those are my hobbies, and I watch stuff like that.
Yeah. You know, it's the same thing, like you said about showing each other videos and all that stuff. He said, I made an entire IG page for it. That is right. But yeah, we either send each other funny videos or, I'll be venting, chopping it up. Or me, I like listening to music a lot,
Yeah,
outside of the dance aspect.
yeah,
I love to listen to music. I like listening to stuff that make me feel good. And, I'm always listening to something upbeat that just make me feel good. And eventually I just end up dancing. Hey, what's up, young? But
I do a backflip or put on my Spider-Man suit. Nothing too crazy, but nah, you see how I made y'all laugh.
Hey, he be quick to make somebody laugh. He be quick to do that. But you need that though,
That's
stuff
what
like that.
you need. That's why I laugh all the time. That's why I laugh all the time. And I try to make people laugh, even though I can be going through something or something different. I try to make other people laugh because I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah.
I laugh all the time. Y'all ever been around me? You know me. I laugh all the time.
Even
I can see something. I don't care if it's two squirrels out there fighting. I'm laughing.
right, you start having voices in your head doing voiceovers.
And I get to thinking sometimes like when it get like 110, 15 degrees here, and I see that squirrel sitting out there, just like I was sharing the story one time before. I was at work. I'm in the car in the AC. I'm cooling off myself before I get back out there. I happen to look over to my left. It was a squirrel just sitting out there on their hind legs, just sitting there. Now it's about 110 degrees. It's hot.
Chilling.
And I sit there and I said, I know that squirrel hot with that coat on, the fur they have. Most time when you open the door, something they take off. That squirrel looked at me like, man, I ain't going nowhere. I'm sitting in this shade up under the tree. It's hot. That's how he looked at me. I just started laughing because it was funny how he was just sitting there.
Right. But like even for me, when I am in the hospital or if I am in pain and things like that nature, sometimes y'all can't tell if I'm in pain. And then, I do let y'all know. But one thing a lot of people can say about me, whether I'm in the hospital or just at home and I'm, hurting or whatever, I always would try to make somebody laugh, including myself. Even when I'm in pain, I try to find something funny. Yeah, I'm hurting. It does hurt. I'm not gonna sit here and like it don't, but I gotta get my mind out of that because that alone could be overwhelming too.
Mm-hmm.
Just anybody with any type of health condition that can be overwhelming to them. So there's many different things that can contribute to being overwhelmed.
Yeah, I'm with you with that one, Darius. I'm with you with that one too, man.
Yeah, he said, I genuinely love making people laugh. It's the one thing I can do effortlessly. I love seeing smiles. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you with that, man.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, when we get together there, it's gonna be
Man,
funny.
That's gonna be hilarious.
I like to go into my quiet space. Yeah, I do that too. I get in there.
You gotta have quiet time.
Sometimes if if you got a park nearby, sometimes you just go to the park and don't even say nothing. Just sit there and look at everybody else. Sometimes that would bring that down some to another level because it calms you. It will calm you.
It's very peaceful.
Yeah. You see the kids over there playing like they don't have a care in the world. And really they don't because they don't have no bills to pay yet.
Yeah,
so
right.
They just enjoying life. And then you see like some of the men and some of the women out there playing ball or whatever. It calms you and it'll make you sit back and say, you know what? Let me just change my whole outlook on some stuff.
Mm-hmm. And we all guilty of doing this, including myself. You ain't even gotta, you can go to the park or you can just sit in your car or whatever, or you can just do it in your room, But we be so quick of waking up and immediately just get on our phone, get scrolling, doing whatever. like I said, we all guilty of doing it. I've done it myself many times, but instead of doing that, take that time out to just not pick the phone up, just let it sit there for a little minute, just sit in silence.
Laughter is good for the soul. It sure is.
He said, when we meet, guarantee it's gonna be a movie scene. Oh, for real, bro.
We may feel some of this stuff,
Right.
but but we're gonna edit it before we show it.
Look, we have to come up with an app or something for like the behind the scenes of the stuff that y'all don't see. Oh man, God, it's a blessing. It's a grand. Appreciate it, Mom. That's my mom, y'all. By the way. What's up, Mom? But let me see. Kitty said, "I love being in the park of nature or nature." Yeah, I love doing it. It's fun. Now the allergies kick in. That's a different story.
Yes, Lord.
Allergies kick in.
I grab my phone every morning, but only for a few seconds. Go outside every morning. It's a routine.
Yeah, if you got a routine, that's
a great
thing too. When you got a routine, a lot of people don't have it. I feel like you should have it. If you don't, it's okay too. But it is good to have a routine though. Hi, Mama Smooth. Yeah, she in here today. But
everything running together. But yeah.
Another point I want to bring up is crying can be a release.
Oh, could be crying?
It's okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, that can be a release. A lot of people frown upon that when you say that, but that's a form of release. Not everybody is always happy. Not everybody, always got no weakness. It's not a weakness. You hear, oh, what you crying for? Shoot, bro, life.
I'm hurt.
Man, life. It's just overwhelming. It's life. It could just be life. It could be what you're going through at the moment. It's so many things to cry about. And usually the people that be like, "Oh, you got nothing to cry about," this and okay,
man,
they be the ones that actually be going through stuff, but be trying to play that tough persona.
Tough. Yeah, like you hard, man.
What? All right.
What?
When they hit you all at once, and that's the story.
Then they be crying. They cry. They just don't let you. They just don't let everybody else see it. They cry.
They do it behind closed doors. I started out stars and transitioned to Spider-Man along the years. I'm weak.
I know this gonna be funny.
Oh yeah, that is a form of release. It's a beautiful thing. You don't always have to be sad about something to cry too. It could be tears of joy.
Yeah.
And some people get that confused. I don't know how, but that's something people get confused. Just because I'm crying doesn't always mean I'm sad about something or, being upset. It can be just tears of joy, even though life can be stressful, but I'm happy that I'm alive, to witness what's going on and, find the beauty in the things that's going on in this crazy world we live in.
Then that's when you ask yourself, we bring you to the question, that's when you ask yourself, what caused you to be overwhelmed?
Yeah, that was gonna be the next one I was gonna ask.
What caused you to be overwhelmed? What brought it upon that? What triggered it? That's the word I was looking for. Mm-hmm. What triggered that?
Yeah, you gotta figure out the source.
Crying is something humans hate because they don't understand what it is. We cry because of the generational trauma and pain that's passed down through society. Yeah, a lot of times they don't. And back when I was growing up, that's the first thing men don't supposed to cry. Men don't supposed to cry. But then if I keep all that mess balled up inside me, I'm gonna explode. And either I can hurt somebody, I can hurt myself, or I just be plumb crazy.
You're gonna be unstable. You're gonna be emotionally unstable. If you move like that, man, you a dangerous person. You gotta know how to control those emotions and how to deal with them, how to properly execute those emotions and heal the proper way. Because if you just out here balling everything up, well, you're gonna be a dangerous person to mess with.
Yeah, so I'm so much of a chef. I put fry instead of fry. Lord, we're gonna see how much you can fry when you get here.
Hey, bro be throwing down in the kitchen. I give him that. He be throwing down.
We ain't worried about all this right here. We gonna see you fry. Have you in the kitchen?
Oh man,
That's
true. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to find out the points and what triggered the overwhelming that had come upon you.
Where did it start?
Where did it start? That's the first thing. Where did it start?
You have to figure that out.
Was it you? Was it somebody else? Was it kids? Was it husband or wife, a girlfriend or boyfriend? Which one triggered that?
Mm-hmm. Which I'm gonna point that out. She said something about kids. You know, hold up. Well, I'm gonna say this first and I'm gonna read that. But teach your kids about being overwhelmed in their emotions, they'll feel, and how to handle it. And you know, also just having that tough conversation with them, like, you know, sitting down, like, look, I'm being overwhelmed right now. It's a lot going on. You know, there's many ways you talk to your kids to where they can understand it.
Mm-hmm.
If they're pretty young, then you know, you got to break it down to where they understand it. But if they get old enough to comprehend what's going on, then you know you can tell them straight up, like, I'm being overwhelmed. You know, there's so much going on. Y'all just kind of chill out a little bit. You know, kids gonna be kids. That's just natural. But it's ways you can approach that. But Darius said the main cause of being overwhelmed is trying to hide what's really going on while taking on your responsibilities without taking a breath. It's okay to feel. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah.
That is true.
That much is true.
Let's say, challenge me, pal. Think what you want, bucko. Maybe a young dude, but you got some old words you talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bucko. Man, don't let me go get your Yosemite Sam.
Man, but you know, another point I was gonna bring up is, you know, understand that you can't control everything.
Nope.
That's an issue that a lot of us have. We be wanting to control so many things, or you know, we feel like we can control everything. You can't, bro. That's okay. It's natural. You're not gonna be able to control everything.
Not everything.
That's not how the world works. You know, if it could, boy, this world would be a lot different.
You'd be a bad boy.
Right.
If you could.
Mm-hmm. He's a actually amazing.
Well, you look good to be 87.
But yeah, we get so caught up in trying to control so many things, even when it comes to things in your own life, you know, that's out of your hands. You know, we tend to do that a lot. I've done it myself many times. I've done it myself plenty of times. You know, there's been times where I try to prevent things from happening or whatever, and it was like I have no control over that. Just like, you know, and I know I talk about sickle cell a lot, that's because that's just my life and what I deal with. But as of right now, there's many things I can say to probably relate to y'all, but yeah, even when it comes from that standpoint, I can do things to try my best to prevent having a sickle cell crisis. Yeah, I understand that. But at the same time, if it happens, I can't stop it. I can't stop when or, you know, when that's going to happen. I can't prevent that. I can do as much as I can so that it doesn't happen. But that, like, I've had it to the point to where I did everything I was supposed to do and it still happened. And I had to come to terms with, like, I have no control over that. And that's okay. I came to terms with that. Brian, it's good what you said. Appreciate it, Mom. He said you cannot control something you can't explain. Yeah, just because it's out of your hand doesn't mean it's not in arm's reach. That much true. That much is true.
I'm gonna give y'all some for y'all young folks that's on here. I'm gonna give y'all some old school advice from my 92-year-old mama. Y'all can say mother, my mama. I'm gonna give y'all some 92-year-old advice that she taught us when we was growing up. And this will help you from being overwhelmed with a whole lot of stuff. So I learned over the years. My mama always said, don't worry about stuff you have no control over. Don't worry about stuff that don't even concern you.
Mm-hmm.
Why you worry about what John and Susie and Carrie and Larry is doing down the street? That ain't none of your concern.
Yeah.
Now, when you get to talk about domestic violence, that's a whole nother conversation, which we're gonna try to get my good friend Pam back on here and talk some more about that, because it's running rapid, whether you believe it or not. It's running rapid. But she always told us, don't worry about stuff you have no control over. So why am I worried about what they're saying about me? I don't have no control of their mouth. That's what they feel. That's their opinion about me. Not saying that it's true or it's fake or false. But why am I worried about that for? So when I say my prayers and go to sleep, I'm going to sleep. I care less what you say.
I got a question to tie into that, and I said this before in the video, but it does not matter what you doing, good, bad, healthy, sick, alive, or in the grave. They gonna talk about you regardless, bro. You can't control it.
They can be lowering you into the ground
and still
gonna be talking about you. You could be dead and gone. It's 10 years later. You've been dead for 10 years. They still talking about you.
That's just how the world is, bro. You can't control that. You know, like you said, if it's true, it's true. If it's not, it's not. It is what it is. But I'm not finna make it my problem to try to figure out what you said and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Hey, whatever. Say what you said. I don't care. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
You want to give them something to talk about? Be better than you used to be.
Oh, yeah, they don't love to talk about that. Mm-hmm. They like to talk about what you used to do and who you are now.
Be off.
Mm-hmm. But
don't be so reckless and talking about all this other gossip stuff because they want to gossip. Walk away from them. Give them that to talk about.
The question I want to tie into, about what people think and stuff like that is, do you think people try to please others and seek validation as to why they get overwhelmed?
Yeah. Facebook is a prime example. Social media is a prime example.
Mm-hmm.
I see it all the time. They're trying to get validated. Trying to get validation from people you don't even know. You can say whatever you want to say on here. This is almost like a fairy tale world. You can say what you want to. The real story is when they see you in real life, or you living what you're saying. If I say I'm not a cusser, but you see me on the outside, you see me cussing everybody, then I just lied on social media. Now, when I say I'm not involved with a whole bunch of drama and a whole bunch of messy stuff, that's what we don't even talk about that kind of mess like that on here. Then that's what I am for real. In real life, I don't surround myself with a whole bunch of messy drama folks. I really don't. That includes family. I really don't, because all that is just negative stuff.
You feel a whole lot better when you separate yourself from that. Darius said, I personally feel like worrying about other people shows how much negative influence people can really have. World way too cold these days. Anybody got a coat? Nah, for real though. Mm-hmm. The way the world is now.
Yeah. And everybody just tuned in. It's your first time here. Let us know in the chat. Let us know it's your first time here.
Yeah, welcome to the Smooth Talk podcast, part of the Smooth family. And if you're a little late, you can go back and watch. But what we talking about is being overwhelmed. If you just now coming in. Kitty said, I can't stand people who need social media validation. We see it every day.
That's a lot of that going on.
It's every day. Getting validation is the same to me. Why must that be a goal when in reality the validation will only last those few seconds you hear it?
Yeah. That's it. They'll validate you. Now check this out. They'll validate you today and tear you down tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, they'll validate you today and tear you down within the next few seconds or few minutes or hours. Yeah. Oh yeah, you did great, man. Oh man, proud of you, man. Thank you for doing what you're doing. And then get right in the other crowd, man. That old joker right there, he ain't worth nothing. He think he's better than me. Tearing you down the same breath.
It's a poem that don't know if I post it on here. If not, I am gonna post it. But it kind of somewhat ties into this a little bit. But I got a deep question for everybody. What is one thing you wish you could take off your plate?
Finances.
Boy, financial freedom, boy. Jesus.
That's what I'm working on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Working on being financial free. Yeah, I don't count light bill, water bill, and if you're paying rent or paying a mortgage, I know that's a bill. I know those are bills, but I don't count that because those are necessity. You need the water and the light. You need that. So that's why I don't count those as bills. You need somewhere to stay. This is paid for. You need somewhere to stay. So I don't count those as bills. I count stuff like loans. You get a car you really don't need. That's a bill. Loans are bills. Renting stuff to pay it off later on. That's a bill. That's what I count the outside stuff as bills. Other stuff, I don't count those as bills. We need lights. This ain't back when I was growing up and stuff like that. So we need the lights and stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably right now, as we're talking, I might be the oldest one or close to it in here right now. So when I was growing up, I still remember the oil lamps. Had to like put oil in the lamps and light them and light them with candles and stuff like that. I remember when we had outhouses, we had bathrooms in the houses and stuff like that. See, some of y'all couldn't even survive it. That if we would go back to that. Oh boy,
man, this generation.
Well, you be crying. I remember the first time I showed Brandon a payphone and a phone booth like you've seen in Superman. Phone booth. So if we went back to have to start your fire, don't come in and hit a button to turn the air and heat on. Some of y'all couldn't make
it. It's funny because people in this generation that don't even know what a VCR is.
Mm-mm.
Or DVD player.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Because everything on when I start, you ever notice in the new cars, now in the newer cars, you don't see CD players no more.
Yeah.
It's everything is social media stuff. Everything is Wi-Fi stuff. That's what the world has led to.
That can be overwhelming on people too, especially like the older generation or whatever.
Oh yeah,
they don't catch up to it.
They can't catch up.
That can be overwhelming on them.
Mm-hmm.
So you see how all this ties into it. But yeah, Darius said, I be talking to myself in the mirror. I'd rather tell myself these things. It is different the way when you that way when you believe in yourself. Yeah.
That's right. Okay, man in the mirror.
You gotta believe in yourself. You have to.
You sure do.
But financial freedom, though, yeah, for sure. Love you too, man. I don't know what Darius said. He said my phone glitched. I missed the question. The question was, what's one thing you wish you could take off your plate? Yeah, that was the question. But while you typing that in, this other point I was gonna bring up is, don't be so hard on yourself and don't compare yourself.
That's it right there. People love to compare.
Anybody. Comparison is a thief of joy. That junk is the thief of joy. You start comparing yourself, then you're gonna be trying to figure out how you can keep up with them or how you can be like them and all this other stuff. Now, that's one thing to have like a friendly conversation. I get that. But like, just to be comparing yourself, like, well, shoot, he made it this far in his life. Why I can't do this? And don't do that, bro.
Mm-mm.
Don't do that. You know what this person did to get to that position or whatever, and you don't know if they moved the right way to get in that position or not. They probably went about it the wrong way. And on top of that, what God has planned for you is going to be on His time. Yeah, you got to meet Him halfway and do your work, but just be patient. Nothing at all. If I had an empty, how would I eat? I feel you on that, bro. But yeah, try not to be so hard on yourself. I used to do that a lot growing up. I used to be so hard on myself, bro. But now that I got older and I understand, even though I'm still learning more about the world and what it is to be a man and things of that nature, yeah, but boy, growing up, I used to be hard on myself. And it used to be rough. But you live, you learn, and you grow. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah.
You'll never stop learning. Once you
Mhm.
feel like you know everything, you will be a dangerous person because can't nobody tell you nothing then.
Mhm.
Nobody knows everything. If you know everything, please, why? If you know everything and you think you know everything, tell me where's your book at and why you are not a billionaire right now.
Right. Boy. So here's the question for y'all. When it comes to being overwhelmed, is everything urgent or can some things wait?
Some things can wait.
Mm-hmm. Like he said, it doesn't matter how full my plate is. I don't have to eat everything at once. I can save it for leftovers. That was cold. But yeah. But I do feel like things can't wait. It's a lot of things that can wait. Not everything is urgent. But us being human in our nature, we try to make everything urgent. Oh, I gotta do this. I gotta get this done by this time. No, you don't. You still deal with it at some point in time, but don't try to attack everything at one time, because then you're gonna gas yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're gonna crash out or snap on somebody, or you're just gonna be depressed, have anxiety, whatever it is you feeling, or or just in general, you're gonna make your health just worse. Mess around, have a heart attack or something like that. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Just like, I may move every now and then. Like now, y'all might see the TV back there. 'Cause I watch golf too. That relax me sometimes. Just by watching,
that's all right now.
and just hitting that ball, how that relax you. Because sometimes I can just imagine you hitting that ball. The ball is the anger what I may be feeling at that moment. So I'm just trying to knock that joke way over across there somewhere.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that when it comes to sports, especially if it's golf, baseball, boxing, whatever. Hitting that punching bag.
Yeah. A lot of things can wait. Some things need to be handled right then.
Mm-hmm.
But even if it's urgent, be patient with it. Yep.
Yeah.
See, I'm still hard on myself and I second guess myself, but I try to be more confident in myself.
Mm-hmm. We all tend to.
Oh yeah, I have second guessed myself and stepped up my confidence. That's why I can sit right here and say on this social platform right now. That's why I don't worry about what people say. I really don't. I'm changing my whole surrounding with some people anyway. My core friends and my core people that I love to be around, stuff like that, they will always be there. They will always stay there because they've been there from the beginning.
Yeah.
But people that just trying to get in the circle and try to figure me out, see what's going on. I got something you can figure out. I got a business I can put you in. You want to see what's going on. But I'm moving away from that side right there because I'm more focused because I'm getting older. And I ain't trying to work till I'm 80 years old. I'm trying to retire early so I can still and enjoy the rest of my life like my mama do.
Mm-hmm.
My mama said, I don't have much. I don't have what people have. I don't stay at a nice house like people have. My mama don't even have a car. So she said, I'm not worried about that. I'm just going to enjoy the rest of my life.
It amazes me because the way grandma is, she can do the most with the least.
Yeah.
And find joy in it. And I pray to, I have that now, but when I get, reach that age, I pray to have that same type of lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Just fine, because she finds the joy in almost everything.
And everything.
Just about everything. Even, because she watched The Big Bang Theory. Grandma, you probably gonna see this, but hey, love you. But she watches that, and I be hearing, either she talking to me or she talking to my dad, both of us, and be telling us about it.
Mm-hmm.
and it's just fun to hear her talk about it because she finds joy in it. So love to see it. Now, here's another question: Is are you holding yourself to unrealistic expectations?
Not used to.
Saying,
Not now.
mm,
I ain't finna hold myself back from too much of nothing.
yeah,
If it ain't helping me to grow, if it ain't helping me to be better, if it ain't helping me to get to a certain point in my life, I have now, go ahead on.
hmm I used to do the same thing, and then once I got older, I was like, dude, yeah, I need to cut some of this up. Not a realistic one that shoot, I made it possible. But it was some unrealistic ones, boy. If I was to tell y'all some of the crazy stuff I thought of, I was like, yeah, that wasn't it. But what's some advice you can give someone who's being overwhelmed? He said no because I will do everything I set my mind to do. Facts. But yeah, what's some advice you can give, you know, someone who's being overwhelmed?
Calm down and let that mess go. Some of y'all still, I ain't gonna say y'all, but some people still holding on to a whole bunch of stuff that happened years ago. You still holding on to it. And it still overwhelms you when you talk about it or think about it. Man, let that mess go.
You got to.
If a family member done you wrong, okay. If it's been over 10, 15, 20 years, depending on what it is, then let that stuff go. Now, if a family member rape you or something like that, that's totally different. I understand that type of stuff. Don't get it twisted. When I say stuff like that, I understand the other side. Don't get it twisted. I do understand the other side. But just some BS, doggone mess,
And stupidity.
let stuff go. If they still want to talk about it, well, I can't forgive you. Then hey, go on by your business. But then if they are Christian, because some Christian folks will say stuff like that, and I just can't find it in my heart to forgive you. Now I understand somebody don't unalive somebody's child or something like that. That's why I be saying that stuff like that. I understand that. I'm not talking about that side, but just some old mess that you can't forgive somebody for. Okay. Christian folks, y'all keep saying, well, I just can't forgive them, but you want somebody to forgive you. You want the Father to forgive you. You want God to forgive you, but you can't forgive nobody.
Okay. We'll talk about that on a different episode, but yeah, not I'm a Christian myself, but there's a lot of Christians that are some of the biggest hypocrites. Boy, boy, man, that's gonna be funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
Pouring to yourself more rather than allowing things to get under your skin. That's the one.
Yeah. You can ever get to that point right there, you be awesome.
You ever realize when people try to make you mad or whatever, and you don't have no reaction to it, you just mind your business, it makes them more mad.
Yep.
It just makes
especially if you start laughing.
Yeah. Funny. It do be
What's
funny.
so funny? You are.
You. Now I look at, because the way I look at haters or whatever, you just give me an extra view on whatever it is I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
If it's social media, cool. I mean, you ain't getting paid for it. I might be, but you not. But all right, cool. So a point I want to bring up is you can't help everyone, especially when you're the person who needs it the most.
Mm-mm. You can't help them.
You can't help everybody.
Some people don't want to be helped. Some people want to remain the victim.
There's a lot of people that want to play that victim role.
They want to remain there. If they want to remain there, you just ain't nothing you can do. If they've been in that victim role for the past 15, 20 years, and there is a good chance they're not coming out of it.
Yeah.
If they love to play the victim all the time, there's a good chance they're not going to come out of it.
I hate you with that. Look, I did everything I can. I love you. Pray you live a great life. At that point, I'm done with the situation.
And you just going by your business.
Yeah, I can't help you, especially if I need help myself and I'm being overwhelmed trying to help you. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut that short.
I'm hurting and damaging myself more
Trying to help you.
pouring into you, like Darius said, pouring into you instead of pouring into myself. So I'm pouring into you. So I'm drained now. You can't pour nothing back into me. So I'm drained, pouring everything into you.
You get overwhelmed over that. Your social battery, your emotional battery don't got drained. He said, I love haters. Please tell me why I'm so great. For real.
See, that's the thing right there. When like the haters like that, you should love haters, and it should push you to another level because they talking about you and they hating on you. A lot of them hating on you because they want to be you. A lot of them hating on you because they want to be where you are. And the only thing it was, and the only thing in some people live, only thing it is I just made a decision to move and do something better and better myself. Sometimes just saying, you know what, let me start doing better.
And
that's all it takes sometimes.
And depending on whether you have a business or even if your social media or whatever, the moment they start talking about you and people don't realize that, it's like you do understand that they're gonna want to see for themselves what you're talking about, which is gonna get them the extra views, which is gonna help them get, push their career even further because you decide to talk junk about them. So
yep.
Cool, keep on. Keep doing it. You help me out.
Can't help.
I'm doing great.
Yeah, you can't help everyone. I barely can help myself. I won't even act like I'm okay with trying to give you everything when I can give it to myself. I get hyped off things. I get giddy.
Yeah. It'd be funny. I love it.
I don't even worry about it. So they can pick, laugh, joke, argue. Well, you ain't got nothing. Look what I got. Look what I got. Okay. I'm glad you got out there. I celebrate with you. What I'm gonna hate on you because you got that nice 750 big body BMW. Don't get me wrong, I like it. Well, what am I get mad for? Because you got that big body S Series 550 Mercedes Benz. I like it. What am I cry for? Because you got that big body Lexus 460. Okay, I'm celebrate with you. Just don't cry when it's time to get service.
Oh boy.
I don't mind. If I want one of those, I go out and get it. You know why I don't really want one of those? Because of the service on it. BMW, Mercedes are not meant to sit in the yard. They're meant to be driven. They're meant to be driven. I work at a dealership. I talk to the mechanic. And that's why I get a lot of this stuff from. They're meant to be driven. They're not meant to sit. They're meant to be driven.
Can't tell you this.
And sometimes they're meant to be driven hard because that's what they're built for.
Yeah, you can't just take them to any type of mechanic.
So why you over there thinking I'm hating on you because you got all that? I'm not hating on you at all. I'm more power to you. I stay in my lane where I know I can get it fixed. And it's gonna cost me, but it ain't gonna cost me that much. I stay in my lane. You can have those 750 big body BMWs and the big body S Series 550 Mercedes. You can have those. I don't even want that headache on me. I don't want that. You got one? Anybody who got one, that's fine. I celebrate you because I'm not a hater like that. No, I'm not even a hater. So I celebrate you. Think about it when people like that try to brag and say, I say, don't start crying when it's time to get in service. Don't start crying when it's time to put tires and stuff on. Don't start crying. But most of the BMW, you can't rotate. You can't take the back tire and put it in the front. You have to get a whole new tire. So don't start crying when you got to spend about $8,000-9,000 on some tires, just tires alone. It's not putting them on. That's just buying the tire. So don't start crying when you go there and your service start out at $500, not $50. 50000.
There is a whole time I don't even care. Enjoy your life. Savings.
Yeah, just going out there, man. I ain't got time to hate on y'all. I'm glad you have. You know what? If I really want to drive stuff like that, I asked one of the managers at work to find me. I don't want that. That ain't what I want. Now you want something I want? Give me a 67 Chevy GT 500 Mustang. And we talk about something right there. That's my car. I like to have. If I had the money, that's what I would have. But all jokes aside, I don't hate on people like that. You know, me and my brother William. Shout out to William. Uh, him and his wife Connie. When we go out and detail cars and stuff, we detail cars like that. Mercedes, BMW, Vets. I did a Prowler one time. This guy I used to do his Viper. I used to do his Viper and at this other job I had. He would only come and request for me to do his Viper. Nobody else can touch it. And when he came, I would tell the guys, look, y'all go to break because I need this whole shop. I would shut the whole detail shop down. Just be me and that car in there. Nobody else around. Man, I just want to, no, you can't even look at it. Nope, get away. I used to do his car, a Viper. I think it was a 93 Viper. Pretty orange with black stripes. So stuff like that don't excite me. I have cars myself. Stuff like that don't even excite me. But I celebrate you if you get one. I celebrate with you. Oh, you can get you one day, man. You can get you one day. Nah, I don't get it.
He said, hold up, respectfully, I'd say build over bought. Nah, for real. When you build you, man, shoot, you're gonna be hit different. But here's another question for y'all. What would you tell your past self if they was feeling that way, like overwhelmed?
Man, you better get yourself together. Quit worry about them folks. Quit worry about that stuff. That's why I tell my old self.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, hey, bro, don't even do it. Don't even do it. You gonna save yourself a headache. You gonna save yourself from a lot of stuff, bro.
Don't even sweat it.
Understand that your feelings are valid. You know, I get that you overwhelmed, but don't do it. Some of the stuff you need to let go. That's what I would tell my old self.
Mm-hmm.
You need to let go of some of this stuff, bro. You holding on, so just make yourself sick and worse. Make yourself feel bad. You getting over one. Do one thing at a time, bro. Just do one thing at a time. Yeah, that's what I would tell myself, honestly. Mm-hmm. I got one more for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you could describe your version of overwhelmed, what does that feel like?
Mm-hmm. My version.
Yeah.
If I can describe it.
Yeah.
My version of being overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a heartache, headache, painful, stressed, some cases depressed.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I just put it in those words right there.
Yeah.
Refusing to let it go.
Mm-hmm. Sure. What y'all thoughts on that? So for me, like you said, heartache, headache, in pain, depressed, can be anxiety somewhat. He said I would tell myself, get in that kitchen. That really saved my life. Nah, bro.
Crashing
on me. Yeah. Non-stop tsunami that will only slow down just to pay back up over and over again. It's a great analogy. Yeah. I agree with that one though. For real. I agree with that one. Non-stop tsunami that will slow down just to pay back up over and over again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But Smooth family, we appreciate y'all coming through. You know, make sure y'all get on his, at 6 o'clock. It's gonna be at 6, right?
6 o'clock in the morning. Nah, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock today, y'all. Just joking.
But
6 o'clock today.
yeah, so,
Because 6 o'clock today, y'all come on back and grab you something to drink and give you a little break. Come on back at 6. We got a special guest that we met at the Brothers for Life event is having for the communities. You know, y'all make sure you check them out. Brothers for Life. And if Titus still in here, Titus, what's up? He part of the Brothers for Life. And we got a special guest coming up, a single black father raising 3 beautiful girls. Yeah. And so we're gonna talk about that in like a little bit because single black fathers, they have a story to share too. And you know, we always pinpoint and show the women that are single raising kids. There are some fathers out there that are single raising kids too. And so we're gonna have him on and we're gonna let him share his story. And he's a tattoo artist too. He has his own business, so we let him share that part too. But yeah, 6, he's coming on at 6, and it's gonna be great. You know, hope we can everything is because you know when you try to do something good, it's always that negative that don't want stuff to happen. Always a negative that don't want stuff to happen. So we hope and pray that everything goes through.
It was good today.
Me and Neil were talking yesterday. We will be on open mic night Tuesday night. I'm gonna get my friend Pastor Steve. He's gonna come on and we're gonna talk about business that we're in. You know, it may not be for everybody. So if it's not for you when we talk about it, that's fine.
Yeah, they got me in the process of learning stuff too, and then you know, once I figure it out, I'll put some of y'all on. I mean, he gonna put y'all on too, but I'll put some of y'all on.
It's gonna be fun. So if it's not for you, it's not for you. And I say this right here: ain't nothing in this world free. You go to some places, air is not free, water is not free. There's nothing in this world free. You got to pay for something. You got to deal with something. And we're gonna talk about that a little bit because it can help you out later on in life. But if you have this mentality that man, this ain't gonna do nothing, this ain't nothing right there, then I understand where you at in your own life. It's point blank. And like I say, it's not for everybody. But see, one thing about me, I be very skeptical and weird about certain things. That's why I learn and read it, study on it about it. And it's right here, it's pretty good because I'm in it. So it's pretty good. I just don't put my money in stuff. I don't have money to just throw away like that. I have other things I can do. But I got that going and yeah, Nicole got my shirt. She got a shirt made. She got my shirt made. It doesn't matter to you till it affects you. I got to get it from her so I can advertise my merch. She got it made, so I got to get that from her, so I can start advertising that too. So it's already made. I just got to get it, and I hope everybody you know purchase you a shirt because a lot of times it doesn't matter to you until it affects you. That's what a friend of mine had got that made for me right there. It's right there on my bracelet. I wear my motto.
Shoot, as far as what I got going on, doing this, you know, starting this back up, I had to take a little break just because I mean, I was doing it here and there when that whole Sierra competition was going on, the Red Bull event, but now that's over. Not fully locked back in on this.
Maybe hit him up.
Yeah, I got you, bro. But yeah, got the dance content coming up. Working on some new stuff. Y'all may see me do some collabs with people when it comes to, you know, dance videos and possibly some other stuff that I'm working on. The photos are coming and all that. I still need to get up, you know, with my brother Darius, you know, about this clothing stuff. Yeah, so in the works of trying to get these new designs and all this extra stuff figured out. And yeah, you know, we in the works with a lot of stuff. You know, got some heat cooking up for y'all. And I may do an episode, you know, chopping it up with some dancers, whether, you know, obviously we be online with it, or if I can get them to be in person with it, if we go to their crib or wherever we can go, we chop it up. Y'all might see some dances here and there. Who knows? I try to figure that out. Try to have something different for y'all a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got going on over here.
Oh, and I was at the Holler Center yesterday. Gonna have Leon on, one of the founders of the Holler Center, and he's gonna come on and talk to friend Lorenzo Steele. He took a old bus, and turned it into showing you what goes on inside the prisons. He had pictures and stuff, and he used to work at Rikers Island, New York. Y'all know anything about that? That prison don't play at all. So we had that up, and we got some things coming up. We probably do, because we was talking yesterday after the event I was at yesterday. I was live yesterday, me and Neil, and because his girlfriend popped in and out. She kept popping in and out, and yeah, and so we're gonna do the live there, and we're gonna go inside the bus that y'all see inside that bus. He's excited because he's excited. I'm excited. Leon excited. We're all excited. So y'all just be on the lookout for all that and everything.
Yeah.
And if you missed it yesterday, it's on my page. It's on his page too. We had Dr. Bruce Bridges yesterday.
Yeah, we gonna continue to do what we normally do. Gonna be some little switches, switch ups here and there when it comes to the content, or when it comes to us being on live. We may be in different settings or whatever.
That's the plan
here and there, and we're trying to figure some stuff out when it comes to these, microphones and all this stuff. Come out with better quality things for y'all. So yeah, we working on a lot. It's a lot we're working on in the background. Hopefully y'all enjoy it. And one day, rightfully, we be in the studio, have it decked out and all this stuff. But yeah, we slowly moving there. We appreciate every single one of y'all for real. It means a lot. Y'all don't miss. Y'all show up and show out every time. Share this with your family, your friends. Tell a friend, tell another friend. To tell your family and all that.
And everybody.
Tell everybody. Tell everybody. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Be sure to come watch them at Dick's. Go ahead and get you a drink, get you a snack. Get a little comfortable.
And if you know anybody that's a single father, tell them to tune in. Or you yourself is a single father. Tune back in.
Tune in. Check it out. But we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We can't thank y'all enough for supporting us. We ain't the biggest, but we slowly getting there. We love y'all. We thank y'all. Stay focused, stay positive, smile, and as always, how I do. Be smooth with it. We out.